Hello guys, it's me, Omar Bam, aka Crypto, here with an update on what's going on as we wrap up this week. Today is March 28th, 2025, Friday, and it's been a banging week for news. Not a terrible amount over the last 2 days. I pretty much had covered a lot of the main topics on Tuesday's video, and I've been super busy, so I was not able to provide content the last 2 days, but we're back with some pretty major news that's coming out today. And yeah, I guess what most people first find relevant, I suppose, is the prices. So we got prices coming down. Bitcoin down 4.2% and dropped off quite a bit. I mean, I last saw it around $88,000. We're now at $83,926. We have Ethereum down even more so. It's down 6.7% at $1,883.44. So it's now down below $2,000 level, which we had managed to finally breach, stay over for a little while, and then it dropped right back down. Maybe we'll get to see that glorious 1559 number again. I feel like that's a good luck number, though. So if we touched it again, maybe that would portend good things. Anyway, just a little bit of a joke there. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. That makes me look 10 years older. Thanks, no food, I guess. Why are you so sad, man? It's just a hat. I'm just tired. That probably is not helping how old I look right now, but thanks for the feedback, man, on the hat. I got it in Prague, and one of our tour guys had it on, and I thought it was super cool to bring back a nice relic because I had planned to go shopping, and this is pretty much the only thing that I brought back. And hey, Kevin, thanks for joining me. I remember Lakeland, Florida, going out there for a theater conference when I was in high school, and it was the first time I had seen a downtown that had all of these streets that were not numbers, right? I'm from New York. I grew up in Miami. Everything is numbers. And then I went over to Lakeland, Florida, and everything was fruits, Orange Street, and so on. I was so confused trying to get around, but it was such a beautiful place. Would love to go back sometime. I was like, it would be so nice to live there. Hey, where'd your Lambo go? I don't know, repo, bro, Mr. Orange. Speaking of oranges, hey, Orange. So yeah, we've got a little bit of fear, as you can imagine here. XRP, we talked about how the SEC had dropped the investigation against them. So people were saying this is clearing the road now for XRP to finally climb. But it looked like at least continuing to see these drops that are so sharp with XRP, down 7.3% at $2.18 now, almost a third of the way down from that $3 mark that we were at, is maybe a sign that a lot of the reason that it climbed was in anticipation of regulations being cleared for XRP. I imagine it would stable out here and it would be a better situation for XRP, but right now it's not showing that kind of strength. But again, who's really seeing strength here? Solana down even more, 7.6% at $129.04. Maybe it has to do with the fact that you have this stable coin by WLFI, the World Liberty Financial company that's backed by Trump. We talked about how they're building on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum and not actually on Solana. So I guess that would have disappointed Solana optimists, I guess, when it comes to the price, and so on across the board. We got Cardano down 5.5%, Tron down 0.5%. Stablecoin still working at 0% up or down, so that's good to see. Although we're below $1, that's yeah, whatever. It's neither here nor there. Anyway, yeah, this is not just crypto that is suffering. So if you've opened up your stock portfolio, or if you have one, or if you're just reading the wider news, you probably heard about the huge plummets that we've had across pretty much all stocks here. The Dow Jones dropping 500 points. We have the, where is it here? The NASDAQ, I don't remember where I put it. NASDAQ was basically down, I think, 2.7%. So that is a tech-led index, and crypto closely correlates to it. So seeing that drop off so much should have given us a sign that we would be dropping. And funny enough, I actually prefer to be in crypto primarily because last night was when I saw these prices start to come down in a major way. And stock markets were closed, but guess what? Crypto trades 24 hours. So it should not have been much of a surprise that we were going to see stocks going down. And that's exactly what we saw overnight. Yeah, and the Dow Jones actually dropping more than 700 points. That's insane, or nearly 1.7%. Oh, yeah, there it is. NASDAQ, 2.7%. And S&P 500, almost 2%. Huge. So this likely has to do with what's being talked about here on Yahoo. So we have the announcement of the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, which the Federal Reserve looks at as one of the key measures for how the economy is doing and what they'll be doing with interest rates. And it looks like prices increased more than expected last month, rising 0.4% month over month and 2.8% year over year, which is not really close yet to the Fed's 2% target. Meanwhile, U.S. consumer sentiment in March plummeting to the lowest level since November 2022. So, I mean, I'm hearing about these tariffs, the impacts of these tariffs on all sorts of prices, right? Like today I read about how Bank of America expects the minimum we'll see for new cars in the United States to purchase a new car will be an increase in price of at least $4,500. So $4,500 at the least, all the way up to, I believe Goldman Sachs was saying we could see up to $15,000, I guess on the higher end cars, increased prices. So this is going to put pressure on consumers. But I think this is exactly what you kind of wanted to see from Trump. I do feel like he is trying to force the Fed's hand here and kind of expedite when we'll be lowering these rates by causing fear, by causing all this uncertainty to exist. And so the Fed will pretty much have no move. So just sitting pretty here right now. I wasn't even going to check my own portfolio or prices. I'm like, just another day. When I think as we move into the summer and towards the latter half of the year, we're going to be quite happy that we're still here, right? You don't want to be out of the market when some of the best days are while you're in, well, some of the best days are the least number of days while you're in the market. You're out of the market for those few days you missed out, right? So better to just kind of sit here, hodl, and accrue wherever you can. Crypto Fear and Greed Index at a 33. So it is now back down into fear territory. Previously, it had gotten back up to neutral, but still back down there. It was trying to climb out. We'll see where it goes to from here. But it was like someone was saying yesterday, I had read a quote of someone saying, what a timeline when we are now sitting at $88,000. Again, we're at $83,000 today, but this was yesterday. So $88,000 Bitcoin, and we are sitting in fear, like right near extreme fear almost, which is insane to think about just a few years back. But it goes to show the volatility and sentiment that people really feel. And like I constantly hear and people talk about is like COVID, right? The world was ending when COVID happened and everything was shut down, super fears about the economy. And how hard did cryptocurrencies bounce back from that? So this to me is all kind of a nothing burger while we move forward here. Oh, yeah. FTX founder. I completely forgot I was going to mention this here on the show. So I'll just really quickly give you a brief on that. So SBF was moved to Oklahoma because he had done an interview with Tucker Carlson, whatever you call him, and it was unsanctioned. So now he is moving away from Puff Daddy in I believe it was the Brooklyn Detention Center. Yeah, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. And now he'll be shipped over to Oklahoma. I believe he's already there. What a clown, right? Doing interviews. Apparently he's been preparing a huge plan while in prison for how his perception will be, his PR, his plans to move forward. You got to at least admire the diligence with that guy. Yeah, so I wanted to share this again with you guys. Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, and how they share on the Fed website here, the St. Louis Fed. They share the M2 money supply, so the measure of money. It says here, beginning May 2020, M2 consists of M1 plus small denomination time deposits in amounts of less than $100,000, less IRA and KEO balances at depository institutions, balances in retail MMFs, less IRA. So basically not counting some IRAs, but counting a lot of the money supply that's in existence. And as you can see, money supply ticked up, almost went vertically here around COVID. Obviously, we saw that impacted in the cryptocurrency prices, then coming down here around April 2022, bottoming out around October 2023, and then the money supply beginning to climb through and continuing to climb through today. And what that could mean for crypto going forward here. And my brother from another mother, Colin Talks Crypto, has been harping on this a lot on Twitter recently. So he shared this chart, which then got shared further by Mario Rafal, writing global M2 money supply versus Bitcoin, predictive correlation, forecast BTC pump around May 1st. So in about a month, lasting for 2 months. So Alva also shared this in the comments. Global M2 money supply plays a big role in BTC price dynamics. Historically, BTC lags about 10 weeks behind M2 shifts. With recent M2 upticks, money supply climbing a pump around May 1st, or about 10 weeks or 108 days after it began climbing again, seems plausible for a boom for crypto. Institutional buzz like ETF news and macro moves could boost this effect. Watch M2 closely. So he basically offset it by a few days here. So he moved the M2 money supply side of this, which you see in yellow versus orange for Bitcoin, obviously orange. So you can see he basically offset it to the right and it lines up almost perfectly. So to be coming up here, we should expect perhaps around May 1st, we're going to see Bitcoin really blasting off. We'll see if this rings true, but if so, all these days in between here and at least May 1st shouldn't worry you so very much. These are opportunities to buy on discounts. At least that's how I see it. And as always, remind you guys, this is not investment advice. OGs only. Indeed, Jackknife. What's up? Beautiful day today. I agree, Mastermind. It's actually raining here in Central Texas, and I love the rain. So it's actually a really wonderful day. Not gonna lie, I just want to curl up somewhere with a good book and my dogs and fiance and Kiwi. It would be super nice. Hope you guys are having fantastic days too out there wherever you are. And thank you, No Food. I did not know that I got you back into crypto back in 2016. Thank you so much for still being here and supporting and sharing that. I hope that whatever you picked up since then has only bore you great fruits and you're continuing to do well, because I guess whatever role I played in introduction, I don't think there's any one source that you can determine for yourself that was like the person that got you hardcore into crypto. I think that it's a journey really where we take these experiences and we align them with our own values as we seek to grow our values and everything else. But I'm happy I could be a part of your experience and journey in crypto. Thank you so much, bro. Okay, hey, what's up, Ozzy? So South Carolina, latest Bitcoin bill that has been introduced by Mr. Pace, Representative Jordan Pace, introducing Bill H4256, Strategic Digital Reserves Act of South Carolina. It seeks to invest about 10% of the state funds into digital assets, including Bitcoin. And it says here on bitcoinmagazine.com, where I first saw this news, that they can include up to 1 million Bitcoin in this strategic digital assets reserve, which is insane, right? We're not talking about $1 million worth of Bitcoin. We're talking about them trying to get 1 million out of the 21 million that will ever exist out of Bitcoin. And you can see like how serious, at least Mr. Pace here is, the representative, in acknowledging a need, a yearning to take a piece of this Bitcoin pie before it's too late or it gets too expensive. And you could see other states become more aggressive going forward here. So this is kind of in contrast to the last one that we talked about, where they're only going to invest, I believe it was 5% of state funds. This one's 10%. So a little bit more aggressive, less conservative, maybe less of a chance of passing. It's in South Carolina. They tend to be a little bit, I guess, more embracing of cryptocurrencies versus the Democratic side. Although I'm hearing that Democrats are beginning to warm up perhaps more. There was one Democrat, I can't remember his name right now. I'd seen an article about earlier, I should have pulled it up, where he spoke at a Bitcoin event that just took place, and he's a Democrat, and he spoke about how he's been trying to influence the other Democrats to really acknowledge the efficiencies that cryptocurrencies can provide, and that these guys just do not get it, and how it needs to be bipartisan. I agree. It's so strange that it's not bipartisan. Like, do you guys not want votes from folks who are beginning to really understand how important cryptocurrencies are in hedging themselves against inflation and state-sponsored forms of payment? Certainly Bitcoin is not one just yet anyway. Maybe some of these stable coins that are coming out. Anyway, so I wanted to share that with you. No concrete plans as to how they're going to be custodying anything, just kind of like outlining how they could possibly do that through a third party. They talk about cold storage. And they're going to be doing proof of reserves. They're going to be audits, which we would like to see. So yeah, pretty good news on that front. The FDIC, so this is really major. That's why I put that in the title of this video. So the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation clarifies process for banks to engage in crypto-related activities. So this is major. This has been an institution here in the United States that has been vehemently anti-crypto for some time. And if you would like more reading about that, or you had missed when I talked about it on the show, definitely look more into Operation Chokehold 2.0 as it relates to cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to discuss that in much detail today, but it looks like the interim head now at the FDIC is really trying to turn things around. So in this press released today, they wrote, today the FDIC issued a financial institution letter that provides new guidance for FDIC supervised institutions, these banks that want to be able to provide assurances to customers for their deposits that operate under the FDIC. So they now have new guidance in regards to the institutions that are seeking or engaging in crypto-related activities. The new guidance, which rescinds the old guidance, clarifies the FDIC-supervised institutions may engage in permissible crypto-related activities without receiving FDIC approval. We saw them trying to get this kind of approval in emails that have been leaked in the past, and basically the FDIC just try and see what happens to you. And that is changing in a big way with this release and this announcement. The guidance affirms that FDIC supervised institutions may engage in permissible activities, including activities involving new and emerging technologies such as crypto assets, and digital assets, provided that they adequately manage the associated risks. So it's like not trying to treat them like children in a classroom and saying, yeah, you're grown-ups just like we are. Just do the right thing, right? As opposed to everything has to be cleared by us and approved by us, the adults in the room. With today's action, the FDIC is turning the page on the flawed approach of the past 3 years, said FDIC Acting Chairman Travis Hill. I expect this to be one of several steps the FDIC will take to lay out a new approach for how banks can engage in crypto and blockchain-related activities in accordance with safety and soundness standards. This means that they could be promoting new products, and thereby you have the overall space benefiting as well when it comes to optics toward it from institutions, retail, financial institutions specifically, governments, you name it. So this is, I think, really, really huge. The FDIC will continue to engage with the President's Working Group on digital asset markets, and expects to issue further guidance in the future to provide additional clarity regarding banks' engagements in particular crypto-related activities. And they're going to be working with other banking agencies to replace interagency documents related to crypto assets with further guidance or regulations. So really nice to see that this is coming out. Some folks that are quite happy, and I got to say kind of myself as well, and I'll tell you why in just a second, is this news. Trump pardons BitMEX co-founders, including Arthur Hayes. So we have the clearing of 3 founders of the infamous BitMEX cryptocurrency leverage exchange, Arthur Hayes, Benjamin Delo, and Samuel Reed. Last July, BitMEX pled guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act. So it is always wild to me when this is a nascent industry with pioneer leaders, pioneer products who have become martyrs overall, especially under the prior administration. And many times these are some brilliant folks, especially Arthur Hayes. And the reason I'm kind of mentioning him specifically is because I do enjoy reading his blog. To me, it's almost, again, just like fiction, but it's informed fiction about macroeconomics and as it relates to cryptocurrency. Really love to read his blog. And if he was in jail, I don't know how often he'd be able to produce his insights. I really do like that. And so it's great to hear that he has been pardoned by Trump along with his other 2 co-founders. The pardons were issued yesterday, according to CNBC. And Arthur Hayes, he tweeted out in response confirming this, "Thank you," tagging the President of the United States. And great news for him, I suppose. Another one who is off the hook here, I guess a little bit more surprising to me, is the Hawk Tuah girl, which I had talked about as well on the show. So she is the one that is famous for, I can't say and keep this child friendly, but she has a podcast, took a break, CoffeeZilla leaked all this sort of stuff about related to her charity. You should definitely watch the CoffeeZilla updates on Hawk Tuah if you've been out of the loop, or look up some other articles. But she has been cleared by the SEC of any wrongdoing. She's going to have to pay no penalties potentially here for the launch of the Hawk token that was perhaps quite the rug pull on certain folks. There were a lot of lawsuits that took place surrounding this and the losses, but it seems that according to Haley's attorney, James Sala, that this is finalized, over. The SEC closed the investigation without making any findings against or seeking any monetary sanctions from Haley because they did not bring any action against her. There are no restrictions on what she can do in regards to crypto or securities in the future. So she could very well launch another crypto or security type project with a company. I doubt she did any real legwork here, but besides her face being on it and obviously getting some sort of share of the proceeds, though like she will not admit it or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure she was promised some money, right? Although she vowed to give it all to charity. I doubt that would have been the case. But anyway, she could do it again. It doesn't seem like she's keen to do that. However, we're told that she's totally done with the meme coin biz, which is probably the smartest decision she's made since telling the world about her favorite. I cannot say. Anyway, going forward with more popular icons here in crypto. Yeah, huge jackknife. If we're talking about the FDIC news, I think that's major. It's going to be bringing huge, I think, benefits to the cryptocurrency industry over the next hopefully many years. I hope it stays that way, the openness here. And communication from the FDIC to these institutions and clarity, finally, that we're seeing here. So this guy right here, he's been on the show before. I've been on his show. I last saw him in Miami, I believe, back in, was it 2022 or 2021 at the Bitcoin conference. Things for both of us has changed quite wildly since then, since I saw him there at a Gemini party that I had been invited to in Miami Beach. He is now seemingly arrested. He's a fugitive from Florida. So they specifically mentioned this statute here when he was arrested in Florida, it looks like. And he's being moved to... No, I'm sorry. He's in Florida and arrested in Florida, it seems, based on that statute. And it's an extradition bond statute, which means that he gets shipped away from Florida over to another state where he is a felon wanted by the law. So it seems he's been arrested and moved back to Georgia. That's pretty much the only main details that I have around this. There's this article here on cryptobriefing.com that talks about a legal flex. Ben Armstrong was arrested in Florida for sending harassing emails to a judge. This is Armstrong's second arrest related to separate incidents. Ben Armstrong, was widely known as BitBoy, was arrested in Volusia County, Florida, Tuesday night. Is currently being held without bail. Yeah, you can see right there, no bond amount $0. According to jail records, Armstrong was taken into custody on a fugitive warrant, which likely resulted from the emails he sent to a judge during his self-representation in court. So he didn't want to hire a lawyer to represent him, which is like, from everything I've heard, kind of the dumbest thing you could do, really, is to have, it just seems so arrogant to try to do that to the court. So anyway, he had mentioned the warrant on X days before being taken into custody. I can now confirm that the warrant for my arrests are due to me sending emails, he had written. As my own attorney, by the way, we totally have that right here in the United States to be your own attorney and represent yourself, to the dishonorable Kimberly Childs of Cobb County government, who has now deleted her Twitter. I doubt it was related to this particular case in BitBoy. But anyway, public officials hiding corruption one day at a time. And apparently people thought that this was BitBoy. There was some incident with some dude at Popeyes, but that does not.
All you niggers think this is fucking acceptable? Huh? You fucking niggers.
Yeah, that's definitely not BitBoy. And as far as I know, I've never really seen any sort of racism from him. Very well could be, I don't know, but definitely doesn't look like BitBoy. Anyway, extradited. Yeah, I was looking up the definition of these bonds. It would have been better for him to just take care of that while in Georgia versus be extradited, pay even more penalties, have to worry about transportation. It's insult to injury, basically, what's going on with him. And the last report that I saw from him was here on Twitter a few days ago. It looks like right before his arrest, because this was 3 days ago, maybe a few hours before. It looks like he was booked around 19 o'clock, so like 7 p.m. in Florida time. Probably earlier in the day, he had been tweeting about another Ben Armstrong that he felt like was taking his name. I guess like he was getting upset that you could search for Ben Armstrong and not get his face pop up, but instead on IMDb you would get this actor pop up, and he was quite against that. This poor guy doesn't know what he's in for. It's just so silly. I have a new nemesis, and his name is Ben Armstrong, and he is not me, and that pisses me off. But I only nice tweet, so forget I said that. I'm sure he's a stand-up theater kid. Actually, I'm pretty sure he is a stand-up theater kid. This is not a drill. This is real. I can't believe this is real. At this point, I don't have enough information to make a judgment as to whether the other Ben Armstrong's parents conceived him in order to steal my company. If anyone knows the other Ben Armstrong, I'm looking for a mole. And then, I guess a few hours later, maybe right after this, arrested. Wow. I mean, it is a story that keeps unfolding and giving at the very least. Anyway, I wish him mental health for sure. That's my opinion on that matter. XAI has acquired X in an all-stock transaction. So X, Twitter, has been bought yet again. Will the name be changing? I doubt it, because who bought it? Who sold it? Elon Musk. Who bought it? Elon Musk. So another of Elon Musk's companies here, XAI, the producers of the Grok AI and chat interface, which has recently added a supposed quite fantastic image model, but I don't know that it's as good as Sora. I don't know if you guys have been testing out Sora. If you go over to Sora.com and you're a Chat GPT Plus subscriber, you can generate, I think, up to 200 images. They might have lowered it. Maybe it's like 11 now. They're constantly changing it because apparently their GPUs were melting. But yeah, incredible. I think stock content and producers are out of business completely here with what's been going on here. But anyway, XAI, producers of Grok, has acquired X in an all-stock transaction. The combination values XAI at $80 billion and X at $33 billion, $45 billion less, $12 billion of debt. Since its founding 2 years ago, XAI has rapidly become one of the leading AI labs in the world, building models and data centers at unprecedented speed and scale. X is the digital town square where more than 600 million active users go to find the real-time source of grand truth, and in the last few years has been transformed into one of the most efficient companies in the world, positioning it to deliver scalable future growth, writes Elon Musk. XAI's and X's futures are intertwined. Today, we are officially taking the step to combine the data, models, compute, distribution, and talent. So maybe they're doing this in order to merge data centers for more compute. I'm not really entirely sure what the move is here in order to make valuations look bigger for XAI, perhaps. I do wonder, but maybe it's just some funny business with the money that's going on here. This combination will unlock immense potential, however, writes Elon Musk, by blending XAI's advanced AI capability and expertise with X's massive reach. The combined company will deliver smarter, more meaningful experiences to billions of people while staying true to our core mission of seeking truth and advancing knowledge. This will allow us to build a platform that doesn't just reflect the world, but actively accelerates human progress. I would like to recognize the hardcore dedication of everyone at XAI and X that has brought us to this point. This is just the beginning. Thank you for continued partnership and support. I wonder what kind of changes we're actually going to see on X specifically. Maybe there will be even more AI features that will be integrated. I can't even imagine what that would look like. But XAI's mission, their stated goal, so you know, is to understand the true nature of the universe. XAI was founded by Musk, according to Wikipedia, in Nevada on March 9, 2023. So it's still a nascent little baby company with a huge valuation, and has since been headquartered in the San Francisco Bay Area in California. So Musk officially announced the formation of XAI in July 12, 2023. He linked the date 7 plus 12 plus 23 equals 42 to the book Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, in which a supercomputer calculates that the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42. And the company's mission to understand the universe. So it's one of those books that I've been dying to read, and I can't believe I haven't read. I was at my brother's house in Los Angeles, and he had the book, and I was like, ooh, I love I want to read it so hard, and I just completely forgot. I've been so into AI recently that I've been reading most of those books. There's this phenomenal fellow I believe his name is Godat. That's how you pronounce it. And he's been doing the rounds all over, making interviews and talking on YouTube about his coming book, which is called Solve for Happy, or maybe that's his old book and he's writing a new one. I haven't read them, but listening to him chat, I think he really understands where a lot of what is coming up with AI specifically is going. And as we move through a perhaps tumultuous period to what could be one of the greatest times for humanity that has ever existed as we transition into what kind of started this channel, which is this idea of the singularity coming up, and crypto just being a piece of that, AI another major piece of that, which is accelerating this even quicker. It's happening quick, guys, and I'm here for it with you guys. And this is probably something I read about even more and learn about than even crypto, because I think actually it's more important than cryptocurrencies. Yeah, fiat will destroy itself, no doubt. Cryptocurrencies continue to get better. I have no doubt that it will continue its mission, but I have no idea where AI is going. And all I can hope is that we are feeding our AI good thoughts and ideas to take care of us rather than decimate us as we go forward here. Us monkey people, so we can go back to our old ways, right? Before like he talks about, the industrial revolution that tried to convince us that we all had to go to work and we all had to work for these pieces of paper for money, and that was the purpose of life, versus what it had always been, or it seemingly had been, looking through artifact records and so much else, which is humans sitting around a campfire telling stories. I mean, you see this with Native American tribes. They get together for most of the day and they laugh and they have a great time. They take care of their basic needs and each other for the most part, raise each other. And we might be getting back to something like that, human connection, and trying to discover what that means in the age of the dead internet theory and singularities coming up. So anyway, just wanted to give that guy a shout out because I appreciate his thoughts, and I'm keen to check out his coming book and maybe even his past books. So take care, guys. I'll catch you the next time. Let me see who's out here. What's up? How did I first discover Mo? I think it was just it must have been one of those YouTube videos. I'm just constantly getting flooded with AI interviews on YouTube because that's what I guess watch the most of. I don't really watch crypto content, I'm not gonna lie, unless it's like that CoffeeZilla video or like a Peter Schiff podcast to get like a macroeconomic look. But I can only take so much Peter Schiff before I just shut the video off. I think his content used to be a lot better back in the day, so really that's probably how I found him. But yeah, smart guy, let's just say that. Check him out if you guys haven't yet. And thanks for that question, Jackknife. Curb Shifter, yeah, AI filtered glasses to escape reality. Yeah, another I guess product that maybe I can give a shout out to is Sesame. So have you guys gone over to Sesame AI and tried out Sesame AI? You can go there for free. Just try to chat with either Maya or Miles, the AIs, and it is crazy how conversationally good those two or one model really are. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't really tried chatting with Maya or Miles, but it's happening. And that company, Sesame's main focus right now, they're not monetizing anything. We don't know their big plans, but there was an interview talking about their plans, and their plans are to create glasses where I suppose this kind of AI, Maya or Miles, would live within and kind of be your companion and partner, like in the movie Her is the ultimate goal. They're trying to make just a conversational person that you chat with versus like an I know everything corporate bot. So definitely check that out. Anyway, thank you guys. What's up, Mo? Nice to see you. And I will catch you later, Mastermind, and everyone else who is checking this out later or in the background. Take care. Much love. See you next week. Stay cryptic. Peace.